But they can't be too restricted because you want to encourage some creativity too.
Got it. So it really is about being totally firm on your plan, having a absolute understanding of every component of your plan, having total clarity and communicating the clarity of the requirements and any limitations, etc., up front before you start looking for input. So again, it's all around clarity. It's absolutely essential to have that clarity.
Absolutely, because the lack of clarity is the one big blocker to confidence. So if you can build clarity, you can build confidence, both for yourself and for your team.
Yeah, from what you've been saying, clarity is kind of essential at all steps of the way. It's not just a step. Oh, we need to have clarity, and we need to have a plan. It's basic clarity is kind of underpins so much of all the rest of it. Clarity at every step of the way.
Yeah.
Which makes that. Sorry, go on.
And it's not just the creative ideas you want to get back out of your team. There will be some people in the team who might sound like they're a bit negative and might sound like they're a bit dour. But it's because they've tried things in the past and not succeeded, and therefore they know the limitations of the IT system that you have, or they know the amount of load that this lorry can carry, and you're trying to come up with ideas. And sometimes you have to listen to them and take on board their feedback as well, even though it might sound like it's discouraging from the overall goal, because there will be limitations and there will be restrictions, unless you want to spend a whole load of money and build a new IT system, but that's not going to happen overnight either, So there will be restrictions. You have to bear those in mind, but take them as they are. Whilst it might not sound it, because they're often you can't do this or you can't do that, they're actually positive contributions to the overall. So you're not wasting time, effort, money, and other resources to try and do something that is impossible. So again, if you frame it correctly and you set the situation up clearly, you can then get better ideas, and people will understand the restrictions, and then you just have to find a way around them or over them or through them.
Got it. Okay, so so if somebody's seems to be just coming up with objection after objection, don't just dismiss them as, oh, they're not a team player, they're just being negative, but figure out where are they coming from with this. Is this just they're not engaged with this, or do they actually have genuine concerns which they are bringing to the project?
Absolutely, but it might also be that they're the one who has the least confidence in the room, and therefore they just keep coming up with reasons not to even try because they believe they'll fail. So having some empathy for that person and sitting with them one-on-one and trying to understand exactly why they're coming from that mindset might be helping them as much as it's helping you.
Nice, yeah. There's a lot to consider when you're a leader. There's a lot more than many would think. Wow.
So we've talked about the three key things. We've talked about the beliefs that you have and how you can perhaps clear those. Mm-hmm. We've talked about having a good, clear, smart plan and taking the first step.
Yeah.
And we've talked about having real clarity on that plan and clarity on communicating that plan across the team and engaging the team and getting their input and contribution and buy-in towards the overall plan too.
That is a lot that we've gone through, actually. A lot there. And I've been scribbling notes like mad here. I've got to say, I've got a lot out of this, Nick. I know a question that many people will have is, okay, well, this is fantastic. What next? How can I find out more? How can I take the next step? Nick, help me. How can I get in touch with you and find out more? So for our listeners, what's the best way for them to get in touch with you and find out more?
Great. Well, the best way to do more would be to have a look at the website, which is www.mandala, Mandala, leaders.com.
Okay.
And on the homepage of mandalaleaders.com, there's a little sign-in box. If you register your name and your email address in there, you will get by return a link to the preview of the online course, which will talk about the beliefs, and I'll add on the plan template as we were talking about as well. I'll add that on straight away. So So anyone who signs up this evening will get access to both of those. Then all my contact details are on the website as well, or the online course you can subscribe for if you wish, and that will take you through all 7 steps, of which we've only talked about 3 briefly tonight.
Yeah. So, and that excuse me, that's the package which you mentioned earlier on that you're very kindly offering. They get that when they sign up there. So
yes, just by signing
again,
up, you'll get. Yes, so just by signing up on www.mandalaleaders.com, sign up there, and you'll get an email straight back from me with a link through to the description and the topics about the beliefs, the worksheet about the beliefs, so you have much better clarity of understanding about your own self-limiting beliefs and bring those into awareness, as we were talking about earlier on the show. And I'm also just going to add on the template for your plan, which will give you clear goals and the steps towards achieving those goals.
Yeah.
So those are my gifts to the listeners tonight, and I hope you enjoy those. I hope they create some value for you. And then do please be in touch. We can help more. Subscribe to the online program, and we do one-on-one coaching as well from the team, which we can do face-to-face or over Skype.
Fantastic. And I would urge everyone listening to this, go to the site. And just a reminder of the site, it is www.mandalaleaders, MANDALA leaders.com. Go there, pop in your name and email address. You will get that link straight away, and the material that Nick's giving away free in there. It is very good quality stuff. I've seen a lot of different freebies that are given away in all sorts of places. The stuff that Nick's offering here is very good value. You will get a lot out of it. And I can't wait to see that extra bit that he just decided to add during this show. So sign up there and have a look around the rest of his site as well, mandalaleaders.com, and get in touch with Nick. Find out how he can help you to gain greater clarity, to change, resolve your beliefs, and basically just to become the confident leader that you really need to be. It's been an absolute pleasure chatting with you, Nick. I've got one question which springs to mind. The name Mandala Leaders. Where did that come from? Because ever since you told me that name, I've been thinking I must ask him, how did he come up with that name? I like that name. Where did it come from?
Thank you. Of course. Well, a mandala is actually an ancient Sanskrit word for a picture of the universe. And what we're doing here is really taking ancient wisdom and just turning it into a modern business environment. So the mandala is a picture. It's an image of the direction in which I and the company are traveling. We know where we're going.
Yeah,
it's the map. It's our plan, effectively. And I just like the imagery around the concentric circles, which are on the logo, because as you start to look inside at your own beliefs, you start on the outer layers and you work your way into what's really going on inside for you, and you find that center of your universe, which is your belief set, your value set, and you can grow and improve those, but only once you've tapped into them in a real, authentic way.
Nice, yeah. I like that. I mean, I've seen a few mandalas, and you're right. There's something about them, and yeah, I just wondered where the name came from, because it's a beautiful name and it conjures up a lot of imagery. And now you've explained where it comes from. I completely get it. That's as close as you can get to being perfect for a name capturing a company's spirit and ethos, I guess. That's really cool.
So mandala is an ancient Sanskrit picture of the universe, and it drives into that central focal point of for the leaders to look inside of themselves. Beautiful.
So hey, what's next for Nick? What's you? I have no doubt whatsoever you have got a very detailed plan mapping out what's coming up next for Nick. But anything big coming up on the horizon in years to come? Where do you see yourself taking things?
Well, actually, the online course that we're offering the introduction to today is new. That's just been launched at the moment. So that will be great. And we're reaching that out across the UK and the US because we have spaces in London, New York, and San Francisco. So we're driving the push for that over the summer months. And as we're doing that, I'm also writing a book. So by the end of the year, we'll have a book published, which will be a similar set of exercises, but lots of different stories from our clients, lots of case studies and anecdotes that readers can connect with. And some of my journey will be in there as well, which some people keep telling me they want to hear. So that will be out before the end of the year, and that will be helping people to reframe their plans and their goals through to 2018.
Nice. And I knew when I was asking the question, I knew you would have an answer because planning it's what you're all about, and that's some cool stuff. I'm going to be looking forward to that book when it comes out. Do you have a tentative publication date and name for it yet, or is that still in development?
I think it should be the back end of September or early October, and it will be Zero to Authentic Hero. That will be the title.
Brilliant title. And of course, I'm assuming anybody who signs up to get the information from your site, mandalaleaders.com, and gets the free amazing package that you put together, I'm assuming you'll keep us all updated with the progress of the book and let us know when it comes out.
Absolutely, I'd be delighted to. And the reason we're doing that actually is because when we set the business up 4 years ago, and really up until now, we've been doing one-on-one and one-on-team coaching, which has helped us to reach a certain number of people and have some great successes for themselves and their businesses. But what we haven't been able to do, simply because there's only 3 of us and there's only so much time in the day, is to reach a much wider audience. So by delivering the online course and the book, we hopefully can reach far greater audiences and lots more people can get the value from the programs.
Brilliant. Beautiful. Well, I'm afraid, Nick, our time is once again up. An hour seems far too short these days. I know there's a lot more that we could be talking about. Perhaps we'll get an opportunity at another point. But either way, I just want to thank you for taking the time to join me on this, Nick. I've learned a lot, and I know our listeners will have got a lot too. And just a quick reminder to everyone who's listening, to find out more about Nick, to get that amazing free package that he's put together, for us, go to www.mandalaleaders.com. Just pop your name and email address in there, and he'll get that package straight across to you. Nick, thank you so much for joining me. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Keith, thank you so much for inviting me onto the show. It's been amazing to join you here. And if you've got 30 seconds, I can just leave you with one other thought.
Go for it.
If you're feeling that you're still struggling with your confidence, score yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. And if you're, say, 6 out of 10 confident, then you could ask yourself what it would take to get to an 8. What do you need to do to get to an 8? But also ask yourself this: if you're a 6 out of 10, ask yourself why you're not a 4. And think why what you've done, what you've achieved already, what progress you've made, and how amazingly you've done well to get to that 6. And keep going from there. Perfect.
Give me a perfect way to end the show there, Nick. Love that thought. Once again, Nick, thank you so much for joining us. Excuse me, everybody, remember to go to mandalaleaders.com, sign up for the free package that Nick's got there. You will also find Mandala Leaders on Facebook. Give them a like too. That's everything for now. Until then, take care, look after yourselves, and remember that change is always possible. And when you change your mind, you change your life. Thank you. Bye for now.
You've been listening to the Confidence Alchemist radio show. To find out more, visit theconfidencealchemist.com.
I can do anything. I can reach any goal today. I can do what I want. I can be what I want to be.
Coach on Fire Radio.